Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Learn to Code. In this video we will understand how to use callback hook. So let's jump to our application. Here I have created one sample application. Okay, so here I have the uh, welcome header text, then label component, button component, again label component, button component. So let's check in the code. Here you will see I have created one header components. Let's jump to that component. This is the component, and here I have logged that header. Okay, and I am returning some uh, h2 tag from this component. Then I created one more uh, component, that is a label component. If I go here, you will see I have also written here the console.log label. So whatever the label you will pass, it will print that. Again I have created the button component, and from button component also I am logging the uh, this button. So we will get to know that button component is re-render or render. And I am passing here some like props, like uh, to the label component we need the two prop, that is the label and count. And to button component I need again two props, that is the label, and on clicking on that button what we have to do, what we have to call. Okay, so I am using two examples here, count and salary. And here I created states, that is a count state and salary state. And count I am passing to the first label, that is a count label, and salary I am passing to the uh, salary label. So it's simple, nothing much complex. Let's check its performance. I am reloading this application. You can see here the header is rendered, then label component, button component. Okay, label count first, then this button, plus button, then label salary, and again last button. Also you can see here some console.log in a different color, so that is because of the strict mode. If I remove this and save, you will not see that. Okay, fine. Now check what happens if I click on the plus button and I update any state. Let's click on that. So here you can see everything from the home component is re-rendering. That is, header is re-render, then label count is re-render, then button, again salary, and this button. So why it is needed? And same is happening with the salary button as well. So it lacks the it has the performance issue with our application. So whatever I am updating, it should update that only, not the other part. Let's check why it's happening. In home component, here I am updating the state for count or for salary. Okay, with these functions, and this is the state which I am updating. So what happens when we update the state, or when the props are updated, when the contexts are getting updated, that time whole components gets re-render. So everything is getting re-render. That's why header component is also getting re-render, label, button, and everything is getting re-render. So if this is the case, then we will not have the application performance. So in big application or live application, there is a lot of code in all the components. So with this thing, it will not be good to have. Okay. So to improve the uh, what we say performance, what we can do is we can use the React.memo. Okay, let me write React.memo for header. React.memo, and I am wrapping the header component in the React.memo. Let me import the the React. Okay, so React.memo is like a higher order component. Let's check what it says. React.memo is equivalent to React.pure component in class component. It's a higher order component. So HOC is just like a advanced technique in React for using the component logic. What React memo do? It memoizes the render output and skip the subsequent renders if state, props or context have not changed. What does it means? So here I have the header component, and if its props or state doesn't change, it will not re-render it again. So for now I have used React memo for header component only. Let's check that. Let me refresh. Okay, this is the first time. Let me clear this out, and I am updating this one. So what happening now? The header component is not render because of the React.memo. Okay, because we are not passing any value to the header and nothing is getting updated in the header component. That's why. Let's use the React.memo at other places also. That is in label component and in button component. Let's use that React.memo. Okay, fine. In button also React.memo. I need to import the React, so I am pressing Control dot to import the React. Fine. Let's check it now. What's happened? I am reloading it and clearing the first initial console log. Let's click on this. So here you will observe now label count is updated, and that is fine also because we update the state for this label. That is also fine. And this button plus button is also render, and salary is not render because this state uh, salary we have not updated. That is fine because this is correct. Okay, we have not updated, that's why it is not re-render. So but you will observe this button plus and dollar, this button is re-render. Why it's re-render? Okay, let's jump to the home.tsx. As I said, whenever the components uh, or the state of that component is updated, that time everything that like the render method along with the variables also uh, what we say initializes, variables again initializes. So it have some different, we can say different location or different value apart from the previous. Okay, so if we go to the now, this has the different or different like function or different value now once the uh, home component is re-render. That's why that's why the button component is considering on click updated value. Because of this reason, the this button is getting re-render. Okay, let's clear it and let me update this plus dollar button. So what's happening here? Now this button is getting re-render. So same case. Okay, how we can solve this issue? Okay, even after using the React.memo, it's still uh, buttons are getting re-rendered. This is because of the reference equality in JavaScript. You can search for that reference equality. Now to solve that, we can use here use callback. So here, what is the syntax to use callback? Use callback, and first parameter is the function which we need to uh, invoke, and here second parameter is a dependency. Okay, dependency in array. How can we use write for increment count? So first we need to use callback, and I need to pass this function as a first parameter. Okay, comma. Now here I need to mention the dependency. What is the dependency for this function? So dependency is count. Okay, let me comment out this one. Now same I am writing for increment salary as well. Use callback, and second parameter will be the dependency. What is dependency? A salary. So whenever the salary is updated, that time use callback returns the memoize function, callback function. Now let's check. I'm clearing it out and re-rendering it. Okay, now check. Okay, so only this label and this button is getting rendered now, and same for salary as well. Only the updated state and the button is getting re-rendered now. So this is good for performance. So what use callback do? So React use callback hook returns memoize callback function. Memoization, you can think in a perspective like caching a value so that it doesn't need to be recalculated. Okay, so it will return the it will not recalculate that function. It will return whatever it have if its value or its dependency is not yet updated. So component will not automatically run on every render unless its props have changed. And use callback hook only runs when one of its dependency updates. This can improve the performance. So use callback actually is used to improve the performance, and you cannot blindly use the use callback. There is also with each performance improvement there is some cost which we need to like pay in case of instance of like a memory or all that. So we have to uh, learn about what are the good practices and what are the bad practices to use callback. So whenever you pass any function as a callback function to other component, that in that case you can use the use callback. Let me tell you the bad practice also. Okay, so here let me comment this first, and here what I am doing is I am writing one button, type as button. Okay, and let me do that increment, and here let me write on click, and let me pass the increment count here, and one label that is count, and here count, I'm printing the count. Why this is considered to be a bad practice in case of using use callback? Because I am using the increment count or the use callback hook for the same element in that component only. So this is a bad practice. Okay, so whenever we update any state or we get any updated props, that time anyhow the component is going to be re-render, and only this part will get re-render. So it doesn't so any so there is no case of like sub component or child component is getting re-render. So in this case writing use callback is considered as a like bad practice. I hope you understand where to use callback, what are the good practices, and why we use callback. If you like this video, please subscribe the channel and like the video, and let me know what you need to again wanted to know about any other hooks, or do you, if you have any questions, let write in the comments box. Thank you so much.